She had just been handed her first bagel in 17 months, and the exhaustion was written all over her face. The winning streak was over, but as Alex Eala walked off center court in Toronto, she wasn't simply leaving a tournament behind. She was saying goodbye to a city that had embraced her like family, and her words left the stands in tears. The scoreboard told one story: 6-4, 6-0. In just 73 minutes, Belinda Bencic dismantled Alex Eala's 7-match winning streak and ended her Canadian Open campaign in the round of 16. The Swiss Olympic gold medalist had cracked the code against Eala's left-handed game, repeatedly finding sharp serve angles and dominating with her second shot. But as Eala walked off center court at Sobeys Stadium, the more than 10,000 Filipino fans packed into the stands refused to let the defeat define the moment. They waved their flags, chanted her name, and stood together in a thunderous ovation for a young woman who had given them everything she had. The first set had already offered a glimpse of Eala's fighting spirit. She opened the match strongly, holding the love to take a 1-0 lead. Bencic responded immediately, leveling at 1-1 before breaking to move ahead 2-1. Eala fought back to level at 2-2, then again at 4-4 to keep the set alive. But Bencic edged ahead 5-4 and closed out the opening set with sharp, confident serving. The second set was completely one-sided. Bencic raced to a 2-0 lead, then surged ahead 5-0 before closing out 6-0. The fatigue that had been building through 8 matches in just 12 days had finally caught up with Eala. She had played 5 matches in Washington, culminating in a rain-delayed final that stretched across 2 days. Then she flew straight to Toronto and added 3 more victories, extending her winning streak to 7 matches, the longest of her career. Belinda put me in some tough situations. I think she played really well. I wasn't able to kind of get myself out of certain mode. Eala admitted after the match, overall, a really good week. I am super happy with the run that I've had. But it was her final moments on center court that would be remembered most. As she walked toward the exit, the crowd erupted one final time. Eala stopped, turned, and waved to the stands that had embraced her like family. She knew she wouldn't be back on that court for a while, and then she was gone, but not without leaving something behind. A city in tears, a community filled with gratitude, and a promise to come back stronger. The exhaustion was visible, the emotion was raw, and for the first time, Alex Eala allowed the world to see what this grueling run had truly cost her. After 73 minutes on center court in a 6-4, 6-0 defeat that snapped her 7-match winning streak, Eala sat down for her post-match press conference. The words came slowly at first, then with growing clarity. It's always tough, of course, after a loss. But like I said, I'm looking back at these past maybe 2 weeks as a really big positive. I think I played really well. I've gotten through so many obstacles, Eala said. But then came the admission that made the room pause. Of course, right now there's that initial just kind of a little tired and down from the match, she confessed. The numbers told the story of just how much she had pushed herself. Eala had played 8 matches in roughly 12 days, winning 7 of them in hugely impressive fashion. She had played 5 matches in Washington, culminating in a rain-delayed final that stretched across 2 days. Then she flew straight to Toronto and added 3 more victories, extending her winning streak to 7 matches, the longest of her career. The physical toll was impossible to ignore. After shaking hands with Bencic, Eala returned to her bench visibly drained. There was no exuberant celebration, no raised arms, and no triumphant roar, just exhaustion, pure and unfiltered. Yet even in that moment, Eala refused to make excuses. She acknowledged the struggle, but she also recognized the privilege of being able to experience it. I'm healthy, which is something I'm super grateful for. It's something that's obviously on the top of my priority all the time, she said. She also gave full credit to Bencic for performance that brought her incredible run to an end. Yeah, tough one today. I think Belinda put me in some tough situations. I think she played really well. I wasn't able to kind of get myself out of a certain mode. Eala admitted that the fatigue from 8 matches in 12 days had finally caught up with her, but instead of dwelling on the defeat, she was already looking ahead to Cincinnati, to New York, and to the next chapter of her extraordinary journey. I'm counting my blessings. I'm taking the lessons that I've had from these 2 weeks and hopefully implementing them even more and in a better way in Cincinnati and New York. She said the support she received in Toronto had been nothing short of remarkable. Filipino fans had sold out the stadium, filled the stands with red, white, and blue flags, and chanted her name until their voices gave out. The Filipino diaspora in Toronto had transformed the National Bank Open into something the tournament had never experienced before. Tickets for Eala's matches sold out within minutes, while the tournament even added Filipino favorites like chicken adobo and lumpiang Shanghai to its menu for the first time in its history. The more than 10,000-seat center court was packed with Filipino supporters waving flags and turning the venue into a sea of red, white, blue, and yellow. It's the kind of noise that accompanies a Grand Slam win. And this is just the second round here in Toronto. Play-by-play commentator Mark Pye said on the WTA Tour World television feed after Eala's opening victory. He continued, the one and only, the extraordinary Alex Eala, doing things in tennis that just seem out of this world. Tournament director Carl Hale, who'd been running the Canadian Open for nearly 2 decades, was stunned by the phenomenon surrounding Eala. We've never seen a player ranked outside the top 5 have this type of effect, Hale told reporters. A sold-out Wednesday night this early in the tournament is really unheard of. The support for Eala extended far beyond the stadium. Even the concession stands joined the celebration, selling chicken adobo rice bowls and lumpia, with a Filipino flag proudly displayed at one of the food stalls as fans lined up to enjoy the local favorites. It's the first time I've ever heard of a tournament halfway through adding a food offering just because of a player, Hale admitted. Alex had clearly become more than a tennis player to the Filipino community in Toronto. Alex is putting the Filipino community on the map and giving inspiration to everyone, said Warren Paul Katakatan, a Filipino from Toronto who organized group gatherings to watch Eala and even designed custom t-shirts featuring her name and the words Rise, Believe, Inspire. Then, as Eala walked off center court for the final time, waving to the crowd and blowing kisses, the stands erupted one final time. Chants of Eala echoed throughout the night as the crowd that had come to watch her compete transformed her departure into a heartfelt serenade. Even her opponent couldn't help but admire the incredible atmosphere. Belinda Bencic, the woman who had ended Eala's run, praised the energy after her victory. I know most of you guys were cheering for Alex, but I still have to say it was very nice for me to play in front of you all. Thank you so much for the great crowd tonight. For Eala, the experience was unforgettable. It's the pleasure of my life to experience crowds like this, she said during her post-match press conference. The farewell wasn't really about defeat. It was about gratitude. And the crowd that refused to stop cheering made absolutely sure that Eala knew just how much she meant to them. But the most emotional moment of all came not on the court, but inside the press conference room. A reporter asked Eala about the overwhelming support she had received throughout the tournament, and her response brought an emotional silence over the room. You can see I am kind of just like a drop in the ocean, when it comes to Filipinos and their pride for their culture and where they come from, Eala said, her voice carrying the weight of the moment. I do a lot to kind of represent my country, and I'm very proud of it. But you see, the stadium was full of people who do the same thing, right? She paused for a moment, gathering her thoughts before continuing. So, I guess that just shows you what kind of community we are, and what kind of people we are, and how supportive we are of each other. Her words struck a chord with everyone who heard them. Eala wasn't just a tennis player to the Filipino diaspora. She had become a symbol, a reminder of home, identity, and a culture that stretches across the globe. In that moment, she reminded everyone that she doesn't carry the weight of a nation alone. She carries it alongside the millions of people who support her. The atmosphere this whole week has been just incredible, she said. It's hard to describe to other people kind of the feeling of being in that stadium full of fans and all the love. I'm super grateful for the experiences that I've had here in Toronto. It's been an amazing debut. So, yeah, I'll carry these memories with me for a really long time. The scenes at SoBe Stadium have been unlike anything the Canadian Open had ever witnessed. The tournament had introduced Filipino favorites like chicken adobo and lumpiang Shanghai to its food offerings for the first time, while more than 10,000 fans packed center court, waving Philippine flags and transforming the venue into a sea of red, white, blue, and yellow. Even Eala's opponents couldn't help but admire the extraordinary atmosphere surrounding her. Belinda Bencic, the woman who had ended Alex Eala's extraordinary run in Toronto, was quick to acknowledge the incredible atmosphere inside the stadium after her victory. "I know most of you guys were cheering for Alex, but I still have to say it was very nice of me to play in front of you all," Bensick said, recognizing the thousands of Filipino supporters who had filled the stands and turned the match into an unforgettable spectacle. But while the scoreboard had delivered a painful ending, Eala refused to let one defeat erase everything she had accomplished over the previous 2 weeks. Instead, she was already thinking about what came next. Cincinnati, New York, another opportunity, another chapter. I'm counting my blessings. I'm taking the lessons that I've had from these 2 weeks and hopefully implementing them even more and in a better way in Cincinnati and New York. Eala said those words revealed the mindset that had carried her through an exhausting stretch of tennis and helped her turn a difficult loss into another lesson in her rapidly developing career. The tears were there. The exhaustion was impossible to hide. Her body had clearly been pushed to its limits. But Alex Eala's farewell to Toronto was never really about defeat. It was about gratitude, resilience, growth, and hope. After 8 matches in approximately 12 days, including a rain-delayed final in Washington and 3 additional victories in Toronto, she had every reason to feel exhausted. Yet even after suffering a 6-4, 6-0 defeat, she still found the strength to smile. "I definitely will take maybe 2 days off, a day or 2. I do have to travel to Cincinnati," she said, almost laughing at the thought of everything waiting for her after such a demanding run. Then came a surprisingly ordinary confession that made the moment feel even more human. "I need to get a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in a while. My nails are grown out," she joked. For a few seconds, the pressure of professional tennis seemed to disappear. She laughed, relaxed, and allowed herself to think about something other than rankings, matches, serves, points, and opponents. "So, yeah, I'll do a couple things just to get my mind off tennis. I think Toronto is a great place to do that," she added. And perhaps that was exactly what she needed. A few quiet moments to breathe, to recover, and to process everything that had happened. Because what happened in Toronto had gone far beyond a tennis tournament. It had become a celebration of Filipino identity, pride, and community. The tournament had witnessed something extraordinary as more than 10,000 fans packed center court. Philippine flags filled the stands, and chant of Eala echoed through the stadium. Fans had bought tickets, created custom shirts, gathered together, and transformed ordinary matches into something resembling a national celebration. The tournament had even introduced Filipino food offerings, such as chicken adobo and lumpiang Shanghai, a sign of just how deeply Eala's presence had connected with the local Filipino community. But when Eala was asked about the support, the smile slowly disappeared and the emotion returned. She was asked about the flags, the chants, the packed stadium, and the thousands of people who had come not simply to watch a tennis match, but to support one of their own. Her voice caught as she tried to explain something that numbers could never fully capture. "It's the pleasure of my life to experience crowds like this," she said. Then came the line that seemed to summarize the entire Toronto experience. "I'm like a tiny drop in the ocean when we talk about Filipinos and the pride they feel for their culture and their heritage." Eala understood that the love surrounding her was bigger than tennis, bigger than one tournament, bigger than one player. "I do a lot to represent my country, and I'm very proud of it. But the stadium was full of people who do the same," she explained. She paused, gathering her thoughts, as if the magnitude of what she was trying to express was almost too much to put into words. That shows what kind of community we are and how much we support each other. And suddenly, the defeat on the scoreboard seemed almost insignificant compared with what had happened around it. Eala had arrived in Toronto as a young tennis star riding the momentum of an incredible run, but she left as something more, a symbol of what representation can mean when an entire community sees itself in one athlete. The city had embraced her like family, and for 2 unforgettable weeks, she had given them moments they would remember for years. The chants, the flags, the smiles, the tears, the food, the packed stadium, and the unforgettable atmosphere had created a story that no match statistic could explain. And as she prepared to leave Toronto, Eala knew there was still work to do. Cincinnati was waiting. New York was waiting. The next challenge was already approaching. She would take the lessons, take the memories, take the love of an entire community and carry all of it into the next chapter.